Hi, this is Mike with Thrive, and welcome to October's SEO Performance Report. Just as we do every month, we compile several key performance indicators or KPIs, and we do that to track our overall progress and keep an eye on the overall health of the website. Diving right in, our first key metric that we evaluate is our top 5 keywords. Our top 5 keywords are keywords and queries that are rendering in positions 1 through 5. And that's on the first page of Google search results. So diving right in, looking at our 2021 data, we ended the month at 191. That is slightly down from last month at 198, but still an all-time for the month of October. And that's been pretty consistent looking back since about April and March. So maintaining that mix so far. So good to see the consistency. Again, I'd like to break over 200 finishing off the year. I think that is absolutely possible. As you see, there is an upward trend looking at 2020's data and 2019's data. There is more of a volume towards the end of the year. So I'd love to finish the year strong, well over the 200 mark. I know that's something that we've been really reaching for, and to attain that and to maintain that would be awesome going into the end of the year, finishing off the quarter. Let's dive into what these keywords are, look at some of the volume and some of the positional movements that have occurred in the last 30. Okay, I've loaded our keywords here. As you can see, the keywords to the left, followed by the corresponding search engine result type, the position that it's currently sitting in, the change in the last 30 days, competition ratings based on how the ad saturation is given the page results, the amount of volume per month in searches, and then again our cost per click. If we look at that, see exactly what the going rate is for that keyword, how aggressively competitors are willing to bid. So that helps us gauge relevancy. Then looking at our keywords, break them into 2 categories, one being branded. So that's anything contained or including Winsystems and our product and our location. We've maintained our number 1 positions and our ad extensions. As you can see, the different results here and our site links for some time. That's been the case for some time, so it's good to see that that's consistency. We do have some 2s in here, but again, those are the site links, and I think this is how this report picks those up. So it's not technically position 2, but it's tricking out this cloud report thinking that it's below the initial header and meta tag description. But again, looking really good, and a well diversified results as we see here. And again, a pickup there on the branded side was Winsystems PC 104. So this is pretty brand new. It's not a whole lot of volume, but as you see, there's quite the bid there at $6 a click. So that's that would indicate to me that's pretty high and relevant. And again, we have a little bit of a mix here in terms of what ranks under that search query for that branded term. So looking good. That should bring us some more relevant traffic for sure. Our second categories are non-branded keywords. Now, the non-branded would not contain Winsystems whatsoever. It could contain locations and things like that, but these are searches that are the users not familiar with your brand. So some notable movement on the non-branded side. Industrial computers, 32 spots to number 2. I know we touched on that in our our bi-weekly meeting. So there it is in stone. And there's some really decent volume there and highly competitive there at $18 a click. I mean, but unfortunately, it's a very vague keyword. There's a lot of interpretation there with regard to intent. So we could definitely see a mix of some informational searches versus searches that have more intent to convert or at least leave their contact information. So, but again, positive there, moving to the top of the mix there from 32 position increase. So That's related to the last Google update. So it's good to see that moving despite the small volume there. So, and as you can see, this is our industrial versus commercial computers. So I know that that's not the newest content that we've done, but it's good to see that that content finally moving into the top of the search results. So very nice. Then looking here, some upward slight. ComExpress 10 residing in number 3. There's not enough data there, evidently. That's why the hash marks are there. So sometimes that's beyond me. I know there's volume for that specific query, but moving 6 positions to number 3. And we have some nano single board computer moving up 1 to number 3. And then a little bit of downward movement here, but these are very, very general keywords. Fog versus edge computing. And then embedded computing being picked up now in this featured related questions or featured results. And then, excuse me, and then looking to see the embedded systems page rendering there in position 4. And not but least, industrial embedded computer moving up 2 positions to the middle of the page at number 5. So some really good non-branded movement. I know we had some negative movement with single board computers, but it looks like our nano and industrial, those more specific themes that don't necessarily have like the volume of like C-Flash, as you see here, with 300,000 searches. But yet in 1900 a month is great. So and if we 50-50 that, like 50-50 being the relevancy or the intent, those are pretty good numbers to add to our traffic value. So looking forward to that and seeing that traffic from these keywords and this keyword movement. So looking really good on a non-branded aspect. Next key metric is total traffic. Total traffic is measured in sessions, and a session is when a visitor user goes to more than one page within the website. Finishing off October at 7183. That is an increase from 6659 over last month. So good. Topping out 2018, 2019, but the 1940, I'm sorry, the 9,440 sessions. Remember last year we had a lot of Facebook traffic moving. So, you know, this is all traffic or total traffic. So again, that does represent that difference from now and then. But again, outpacing 2019 and 2018 on an aggregate basis. Let's do a little deep diving and look at the traffic, the contributing sources, and then we can look at some of our conversion data for the month. Loaded our SEO progress report here. We're looking month over month in this frame. So organic down slightly at 6%. Again, some fluctuations in some of our volume driving keywords, even though we saw some really good gains on a non-branded side. So there's a lag that takes some time to catch up. So again, the organic side was just slightly down at 6%, still topping the overall aggregate sessions at 3345. Direct building back at 1699, and then our referral traffic is starting to build back as well. That's also labeled in with our other. Let me see if it. Yes, so that was good to see that after core vitals and basically slaughtering the referral side of things, it's starting to build back. So hooray! So again. I'd like to see an increase in our organic search channel going into next month, especially with those keyword gains and some of the volume that's associated with them. So anticipating us to be, again, on the top of the chart in terms of total traffic sources. But again, month over month, we were slightly down by 6%. What was interesting is looking at the landing pages this month. So as we can see, the computer on module up 97% versus last month. So that was awesome. Our single board computers, as you know, we lost some footing from our middle of the page towards the top of the page, towards the mid bottom of the page. So as you can see, that really shook us down in terms of the sessions. You can see the exponential factor that we have in terms of ranking, even on page 1, the difference between position 8 and position 4 or 3. So that is evident right here with this minus 40% just on the category page, right? Our SBC product did better. As I said earlier, we're looking at the keywords. The more specific single board computer seems to be ranking better. There's a little less volume there, but that seems to have a higher gauge engagement and propensity to convert. So I like that. I think that's good. But again, for the most part, we had a down volume month. But again, I want to point out that computer on module, 97%. Our product page with the ITXP C44 up 83%. And then our product SBC35 up 16%. So, like I said, a move to more specific, pages and products. So that, like I said, I love traffic as long as it converts. So I'm looking at some of the, the behavioral within this page. It looks really good. So the engagement's there. We may not get a conversion per se at that moment, but again, some of the stuff is researched a little more than your off-the-shelf stuff, as you know. So again, getting the good traffic and engagement is really the step 1, and then typically conversions follow that. So, so I'm really looking forward to a good November. Diving into our conversions, 60 in all. We really slowed down as we got towards the end of the month in Halloween. But 72 is what we did in September. That was a much healthier month in terms of traffic and available search volume. 60 completions. We did dip down below 1%. And then our total completion goals, the contact form, click to call, header and footer, and contact page. Looking at specific traffic in the specific cities, some international traffic, as you can see, with, and then as you see, a really big gain in San Antonio, Coffeyville, and Singapore. So interesting to see that kind of behavior. Then we have San Jose at 55%, and that is San Jose, California. Followed by Amsterdam at 323%. So this pulls historical too. So even though we typically didn't have this breakout with our reporting, it's interesting to see some of the gains that we had granularly in Texas and kind of abroad. So a interesting mix, to say the least. So if you need more information on the cities and some of the page behavior and what they were looking at, please let me know. I can give you a way more granular report that has user behavior behind it. So that concludes our report for this month, Flay. Thank you for your participation. I also want to thank you guys as clients. Really appreciate working with you guys and helping Winsystems become more successful as we move into the new year. Thanks, Flay.